Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. I realize there's a small delay in my voice and my actions. It'll be fine because I'm going to be really little in a moment. And then you won't even notice it. The video will be fine. Just have a delay again. All right. So I got a custody battle today, but over a dog. It's not over a child. And the loser flips out. But not until they lose. So we have a bit to go to get to there. If you're just here to see the freak out, that's near the end. So come back later. I might go. Terry, Kay, CJ, go to bed. Nan. All right. Let's get busy. Let's get to this video. We're going to Connecticut. But I don't remember what county. Sorry, I just don't remember.
Yep. So for the past 3 years, I have been going to a court case. I brought a runaway home a couple of times. My ex-boyfriend's niece was running away, so I'm now dealing with some type of court issues to defend myself in that process.
I don't find that relevant.
Okay.
What I really need to know is, let's focus on this dog and the actions. And by the way, for everyone's benefit, when I'm talking, don't talk, and don't talk over each other. Okay? So let's focus on the issues regarding this dog.
So I was having personal issues, and I was seeking to find a babysitter or rehome Skyla at that moment in my life. I had made a Facebook post trying to, figure out my situation for the safety of the dog. Adam happened to make a comment on it. We have mutual friends. I did a couple of meet and greets with Adam, and he, took her occasionally, would be a couple of days, a day, a week.
Again, Miss Padilla, when did this start?
Oh, okay.
What period? Give me a month and year if you can, just so I get an orientation here.
Give me 1 second. So I met, it was in February of 2024 is when I first started contacting Adam about Skyla. So between the months of February and March of 2024, I would go there, I would meet and greet with him. I would make sure that Skyla felt comfortable in her surroundings. And from there, it was always like a mutual agreement. There's, if you see in the text messages of when I'll drop her off, when I'd pick her up. Something, like I said, sometimes it'd be a couple of days, sometimes it'd be a week, depending. I was going to school and work and things like that. So it was always like, we've always had a mutual agreement of picking up the dog. Who would be dropping her off? Who would be picking her up?
By the way, I haven't seen any text messages. You have to admit them. You have to submit them for admission for me to look at them. So
I did on the 9th.
Okay. Let me explain. You may have filed them, but for me to see them, we have to go through a procedure where you identify them by number or letter. I then need to find out if what Mr. Bristol's position is on that, and then I can look at them. But if I determine that they're relevant and should be admitted, so just because you filed them doesn't mean that I'm going to see them. So if there's a particular if there's a particular exhibit that you want me to see, you'll have to identify it for the clerk, first of all.
I did. I put the exhibits on there with the yellow stickers, with the numbers. I did do that.
I know you did. I've tried to explain this to you. That's the first step. The second step is for me to determine if I will look at them. That's separate and apart from you filing them. I don't necessarily need to or can look at everything you file. So we're making a record here. So if there's something that you want me to see, you have to identify that exhibit.
Okay, it's, let me get my paper. Oh, I gave the paper with the exhibit numbers to you guys.
We get to see the dog soon.
The paper with the list I gave to you, so I don't exactly know the number that it's on. It just says text messages, it's Facebook messages between Adam and I.
So Brendan, do you have an entry on the list of exhibits that corresponds to that?
Yes, Your Honor. The proposed exhibits, plaintiff's proposed exhibits, 12 and 13. Excuse me, 13 and 14. It could be either of those.
Okay, let's take the, there's no indication as to dates on 13 and 14.
They're Facebook messenger messages.
Okay, do you have your copies of the exhibits, Ms. Padilla?
I do.
Which one is it, 13 or 14 first?
Well, I don't have the number, but it's 34 pages. Sorry, 30.
That's plaintiff 12, Your Honor. Plaintiff 12 in that case.
All right, put up plaintiff's 12 for ID.
Your Honor, I only have physical copies, so I'd have to bring it to you.
They weren't scanned, they weren't uploaded?
Only the defendants were. I only have physical copies of the plaintiffs, unfortunately.
So the defendant did not send, okay, so the defendant uploaded documents?
The defendants are uploaded, the plaintiffs are all physical.
Yeah, my point is, and Ms. Padilla, you never received a copy of what Mr. Bristol uploaded?
No, he only sent, I only got a notification from the court. He's never notified me by mail, email, or anything of the documents that he submitted, which he's supposed to do.
I understand that. Okay, well, I'll take that up when Mr. Bristol attempts to, if he attempts to admit any documents. For the time being, I'm going to have to, I guess, ask the clerk to bring in the physical exhibits.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Come in. Well, Brendan, you might as well bring them all in. Okay, I have before me Plaintiff's Exhibit 12, which appears to be copies of Facebook messages. You sent these to Mr. Bristol?
I've sent everything.
Did you receive those, Mr. Bristol?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any objection to me looking at this exhibit with these Facebook messages?
I do not.
Okay, very good. Then when you get back to the desk, Brendan, you can mark Plaintiff's 12 as full.
Can I say,
sorry?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So again, Ms. Padilla, you have a copy of these?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my point is I now have the original or the actual exhibit that you filed, so that as you testify, if you guide me to the point, it's a full exhibit, I can look at it, guide me to the point that you think is relevant here. So go ahead, Ms. Padilla.
So on the bottom second half of the first page, it says, thank you for needing help. I marked the pages for you.
Boy, this is very hard to read because of the color and the size of the font.
Yeah, it wouldn't allow me, the settings wouldn't allow me to change it.
All right, so why don't we do this? Call my attention to it, but then read the entry so for the record so that we can see it. So I'm on the first, you have numbered them, page 1 of 34. Is that the page you're on?
Yep. So number 1 on the bottom half, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth message over.
So help me out. The messages in gray, are they, whose messages are those?
I'm on the right, he's on the left.
Okay, thank you. So go ahead.
Mine are in black and white. It says I need help. Just sometimes I need a break because working over school was overwhelming for me at that time.
And can you point, maybe you can see it on your copy. What date is that, please?
Mine are in black and white. Oh. Mine are probably worse than yours because they printed out in black and white. But it would be in the beginning of February. I'm sorry, the end of February or the beginning of March. These were the beginning of our conversations.
Of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Go ahead.
The second page, page 2.
Yeah, I have it.
On 2 messages over. If you were reading through the messages, it was like he was never available for a meet and greet. He always had some kind of excuse of why he was changing our meeting date.
You know what, before you go by these messages, so that I have an understanding of your claim, so far you've told me you met back in February of 2024. There appeared to be an arrangement where Mr. Bristol had the dog for certain periods of time. It would be very helpful if I understood chronology, if you kind of set forth your testimony as to what was going on with Skylar. In other words, by way of example, did he have him every other day? Did you leave him there for a week and then you picked him up and took him home for a week? I just need to get some understanding as time went forward from February of 2024, what your claim is as to who had the dog for what periods of time. That would be very helpful to me.
Okay. So the first February and March, it was just more or less conversations. And he's always had some type of excuse of why he wasn't home or whatever. So we finally met sometime in the beginning of March. Skyla at first didn't really take a liking to him, so I wasn't sure if I would bring her back to him. So we did a couple of meet and greets in between February and March. After that, like I said, it was always a mutual agreement of when I would come bring her. I would stay for a little while. Sometimes I'd stay for a little while. Sometimes I would just drop her off. More or less, it was always me picking her up and dropping her off. I think Adam brought her to me twice or once and dropped her off to me halfway. So it was always me picking her up and dropping her off. And mind you, he lives over an hour away from me. And like I said, it was always a mutual agreement. It depended on my school and his work schedule and my work schedule. Sometimes it'd be a couple of days. It's never been more than a week, week and a half. You know, I didn't leave her there for extreme long periods of time. If you go through these messages and
yeah, but was it a mutual agreement?
Pictures that I have, the dates are on them. There was never an extreme long period of time where he was ever with my dog. You know, it was always a mutual agreement. If you read through these, you know, can I come this day? No, I want to keep her. Can I come this day? No, I'm working and XYZ is happening. You know, so it was always a mutual agreement with us.
You know what? That you've said that a dozen times, but it doesn't tell me what the agreement was. For instance, is the agreement he keeps him for a week? Is the agreement that he keeps him for a couple of days? I just don't understand what you're trying to convey, Ms. Padilla.
There was never an exact conversation where you're only going to have her for 3 days, you're only going to have her for a week, things would change. We would just contact with each other. How's your, stay in mutual contact with each other and be like, he had this going on, or I had this going on. And it was just, there was no exact time, or you're only going to have her for this specific amount of time.
Well, let's keep going
Connecticut.
on. So let's get out of February and March and keep going. So
Okay, and the beginning of March on page 4. The third message over. It says in here, he stated that he doesn't have time to watch her full time.
Oh, what page was that?
4.
and there's four messages that appears. Which one? Upper
1,
right.
2, 3, 4. The third one over.
I declare a thumb war.
It's hard for me to see chronologically. Is there an identifier at the top? I see times 1056, 1054. Is there an identifier you can give me?
No, it's just page 4, 1, 2, 3, because there's only 4 messages. It's the third one over. Mine doesn't have a time on it. It would be like March 5th. Sorry, March 6th, it says.
What do you think the message says?
I asked him if he was up for adopting Skyla if I didn't have, I was facing jail time, and I asked him if he wanted to adopt Sky, and he says in here
That checks out.
that he will just stick to what we talked about, which was babysitting. He didn't want to adopt her. He didn't want her full time.
I just don't see this. It's a very difficult exhibit to look at.
They wouldn't, the settings wouldn't allow me to enlarge, and I couldn't change the settings. That's just the way. I have the same thing. You have it in color. I have it in black and white. It's probably harder for me to read, but it wouldn't allow me.
Okay, I think I see a message. I think I see it. No, he's up for adoption. And you say, "Oh Lord, you want to adopt Sky?" Is that, and then he says, "No, I'd rather just stick to what we're doing." Is that the point you want me to see?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's again, when do you think that occurs? Like
March 6th.
March?
March 6th.
Okay. Again,
2024.
2024. Okay. Let's keep going.
And then one other second. On page 5. 1 second. I'm trying to get a date for you. On March 7th of 2024, we did another meet and greet. It's the bottom row, the last message.
Keep going.
Meet and greet is the new Netflix and chill.
On page 6.
Well, wait a second. So what's the point on that message? What is it that you want me to find on that page 5?
It was just a meet and greet. We just met each other just for them to, see each other, get along, make sure. I didn't want to just randomly drop her off with somebody. So I spent time, going back and forth just so she would be around, around his presence. So I knew that she felt comfortable. I needed to feel comfortable with her.
So listen, Ms. Padilla, I understand that there were these what you call meet and greets where Skylar was getting used to Bristol, but obviously there comes the case, it progresses from theirs to bring us to why we're here. So again, I go back to, if you can summarize, did there come a time when,
Judge, we summarized, it was mutual,
and there were no these meet and greets where there came a time where Skylar went to stay with Adam? Is that what I'm just trying to understand? Go ahead.
On March 14th, on page 6, there was a scheduled agreement for him to take her. On the second, it's on page 6, the second message.
And what do you think it says?
It says, I'm around your time. Just let me know what works for you.
Okay.
And it was just, we were figuring out on that day, you know, I can't recall at the moment if he's working or whatever his personal life is, but it was a day where I had dropped her off to him.
Okay.
And then, a couple days later, on the bottom message on March 14th, I picked her up at 11:30 in the morning, which she was only with him for a day or two.
Okay.
And then
You can leave the booth now.
on page 7, on March 15th, the second message, when I wanted to ask him if I could drop off Sky, he was unavailable. Let me see. On these are black and white for me.
We will see soon.
Okay, one second. Let me read this because it's in black and white. It's so hard for me to read this. Okay, on March 6th, page 8. I need a flashlight. On March 16th, he was unavailable for me to have Skylar watch him again. And then on March 18th, he took her. It's the last message on the top of page 8, the first row, the last message. On the 18th, he took her.
Adam has the dog.
What do you say? He took March 8. I'm not.
Yep.
Are you on page 8?
Yep, the top row, last message.
Yeah.
I'm dropping her off. And then if you go to the bottom row, the first message, it states on there, I'll take her for a couple of days, maybe 3.
Okay, I see that.
Okay, and then if you go 2 messages over on the last one, it says, I appreciate you spoiling and helping me with Sky. Nobody else has been there for me. I appreciate everything you're doing and helping me.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
I said, yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Helping.
Okay.
And
That's what
page
she said.
9. Hold on, let me see. Give me one second.
Ms. Padilla?
Yes, sir.
Yes, he does.
Here's what would be helpful. It appears that you had this arrangement that they were drop-offs, pickups, by understanding and agreement, but there must have come a time when something happened when I guess you're telling me you couldn't get return of Skylar. Is that what happened? Is that what happened?
Yes.
So let's get past the times that everything was working okay from your point of view. Let's get to the point where you think something goes the way it shouldn't go.
Okay, so I was not here for my birthday. I went out of state.
Again, I don't know your birthday. You got to give me dates,
okay.
ma'am.
November, I dropped off Sky at the end of October. It was a couple days before Halloween. I dropped Sky off with Adam. I went out of state and Adam messaged me and he said, Skyla went into heat. I said, okay, when I come back, you know, either Monday or Sunday, I will come pick her up because I was going to breed her. And then that's kind of where he lost it on me and said that I no longer can come pick up my dog anymore.
Okay,
He would miss her.
Ms. Padilla, can you, do you claim that these conversations are in the text messages exhibits that you gave? Then why don't you find them, what page that is, and let's get to October of 2024.
Okay, give me 1 second. So they. That's when she got sprayed by a skunk.
Oh no, she logged off. Oh
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry. My phone.
Oh,
I got a call
damn,
and
she's
it
back.
paused you. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, on March. I'm
What
sorry.
page? What page are you on, please?
Oh yeah. I'm getting there. Page 30.
Okay, hold on.
We all need a copy of these messages, Judge, please.
Okay, so page 30, it looks like one of the messages on the left-hand side is in August.
Yeah, in August.
I thought it might be a hair clip.
Okay,
think
I
it
remember
is,
what
but I don't
happened.
know.
I had broke my phone at that time, so there was a couple of weeks where I had no phone. So it's gonna jump from August until November. But Adam, I had other messages on Snapchat and Adam blocked me and I'm unable to retrieve those messages because he has me blocked. So the month from the middle of August till the end of October, I won't be able to print until after that because I don't have access to those messages. So the last message I have on Messenger with him is on August 17th, letting him know that I was coming to get Skyla. I had her for a short time. And then I dropped her back off at the end of October so I could go away for my birthday.
So you dropped her off in October?
Yeah, it was a couple of days before Halloween.
Okay, end of October, you dropped off.
Yep.
And you went, okay, and what was and so again, it was a drop off. And then was there any discussion as to how long you would be away?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We just kind of checked
What was Skylar's costume, guys? Do you still have that? I want to see.
in with each other daily.
Okay, so then so you dropped them off at the end of dropped the dog off at the end of October, her off the end of October. Then what happens?
While I was away, Adam messaged me to let me know that Skylar went into heat. And I said, okay, when I return in the next 2 days or so, I will come get her because she had plans to breed with another male that I paid $2,000 for. And then he kind of like lost it on me and was like that he'll never be able to see her again. And I was like, well, I think that wasn't untrue. I just, wanted her to be a mom. I wanted to breed her. I paid funds for that. And then we could continue on with our relationship, after she, is done doing her duties of being a mother. And instead he just flipped it on me and said that I'm not getting my dog back. And then when I came back from my trip that night, I went to the police station.
Prepare yourself, guys, because he does something really bad. He does.
And the police told me that there's nothing I can do about it because I left the dog in his possession and I would have to file a civil court matter. And that's what I did.
So is it fair? Is it my observation that you wanted to breed Skylar and that Adam did not?
Yeah, but she's my dog. I can do what I want.
I just am trying to understand the claims.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when's the last time that you saw Skylar?
At the end of October.
Okay. the end of October of 2024.
Yes.
And you have asked to have the dog returned?
I have multiple times, and he blocked me, and then he randomly unblocked me and told me that my dog is useless to him, that she has fixed him, and I have no use for her, and I no longer need to bother to come pick her up.
I don't think I quite
He got her fixed. She can't have babies now.
I don't think I quite understood what you just told me about what happened with the dog. So you're going to have to go slow so I understand.
He after these messages of him being upset, he blocked me. And then
I got that.
He randomly unblocked me and called me to tell me that he fixed my dog and that
Does that mean spayed? Does that mean
yes,
spayed?
Sir, sorry, yes, he spayed the dog and that she's useless to me and I no longer need to come get her. And that's not why my dog is not useless to me. I had got her from the streets as a puppy. I've had her for 4 years.
So you want the dog back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And up until this time in October or November, you had been having drop off and pickups by agreement.
Yes, they're always mutual agreements.
Okay. What I'm going to do, Ms. Padilla,
But are they mutual?
is I think I understand your claims.
Of Omaha.
Basically, you want the dog back.
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Mr. Bristol an opportunity to tell me what he wants me to know. No. First, we have to ask Mr. Bristol. Do you have any questions of Ms. Padilla based upon her testimony? And again, this is not your time to tell me your view or what you want me to know. This is your time to ask questions. Do you have questions of Ms. Padilla?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then go ahead and ask the questions.
Okay, so I'm just wondering why you let me change over the vet to my vet if I was just watching your dog.
Am I allowed to answer that?
Yeah. By the way, excuse me, Mr. Bristol. The better way to say is,
yes.
Did you not while you're wondering about that, you can say, did you allow me to change over the vet, etc., or were you aware that I changed over? But something along those lines. It's really not a question of what you're wondering about. It's the question of asking her the question.
Okay. Did you let me change over the vet to my vet?
So
by the way, listen, here's some more rules. If a question can be answered yes or no, you answer it yes or no. If you don't understand the question, you can say, I don't understand the question, and it will.
In a human, they just tie the tubes. Not always, but they tie the tubes. It can be reversed, although it's tricky, blah, blah, blah. No. In a dog, they take it all. They take everything out. There's nothing left.
Be rephrased. And if you don't know the answer to the question, you can say, I don't know the answer. Otherwise, you got to answer the question. If you want to tell me more, you'll have the opportunity to tell me more down the road. Okay,
no. The answer is no.
Okay, wait, let's start again. Let's do it right. Let's start again. Ask your question, Mr. Bristol.
Did you let me change the vet over to my vet?
So, Your Honor, he's not asking the question properly.
That's not the answer. That's not the way. Again, you'll have the opportunity to tell me what happened, but this is, again, to me, it sounds like it's a yes or no answer.
Yes, he had permission to get a vet for her safety.
Go ahead, Mr. Jeff. Next question, Mr. Bristol.
Did you ask me to breed the dog and not tell me you were going to breed the dog?
I don't understand that question, but try it again.
Okay. Did you, trying to figure out how to ask this. Did you ask me to breed the dog when you wanted to breed the dog, or did you tell me that you were going to breed the dog? Did you ask my permission to breed the dog?
You're not. I don't need permission for you to bring my dog. You don't make any sense.
Again, yes or no?
No.
Okay, wait. So again, let's try again. If you're trying to make a point here, Mr. Bristol, you're not doing it. Let's ask the question as best you can, okay?
That's what yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. Now,
Go ahead. You can go back to that question. I still don't know what the point is there.
so basically what I'm trying to say is she was asking me to breed the dog.
Wait, you can testify on your own. This is question time. Think about the question that gets the answer that you want, one way or the other. Think about the question.
Can I just skip that question then?
You can. It's your time.
Thank you. Now, I'm trying to figure if I was just supposedly watching your dog, why am I paying all the vet bills and all the food bills and you didn't come out with any money?
He said yes or no questions. On top of that, I did supply.
That's a why question. You can answer that.
Okay, so if you go back into our messages, I supplied her harnesses, her clothes. I did supply food. Him wanting to change her food was a mutual agreement. If you came out of pocket at any time for whatever you wanted to buy her, that was on you. I cannot force you not to buy her toys and whatever, but I literally dropped you off so many things that you did not need to.
That's good. Let's go to the next question.
Why am I the one paying for the vet bills and all that? Why? And you're not. If you were out of prison and you're not in prison yet, why am I the one paying all the vet bills?
No one told you to bring her to the vet. I have my own.
Did you hear what he said there? And you're not in prison yet. He still hasn't gone through a court case.
Vet. That's things you're trying to do behind my back so you could try to steal my dog. Nobody gave you permission to bring her to the vet.
Thank you. Next question.
Why did you put up a Facebook status looking to rehome your dog?
Because I was under extreme duress. I did not know what was going to happen to my future. You knew this. And you said that they're in the messages that if I was not going to prison, that you would just be babysitting Sky. They're right here. We just went over them. And you said you did not want to adopt her, that you were only willing to babysit her. Reread these pages. And I said, that's fine.
Thank you. That's the answer. Next question.
If you signed contracts with everyone with your dogs, what was so different about me? Why didn't you make a contract saying I was just watching your dog if that was the case?
Because we had mutual agreements. If you felt that way, why didn't you make a contract? You were only babysitting. These messages are clear, Adam. You were only babysitting my dog. We had mutual agreement. And if I was to give away my dog, like you said, I have contracts, just like I have another dog here in my home that I co-own that we're about to breed. I have contracts, legal contracts. So if you were to keep my dog, you would have one.
Thank you, Ms. Padilla. Next question.
What is the date that she had Skylar registered as an ESA dog? And can you show proof?
I only got a copy from my doctor saying that she is my ESA dog, but I've had that letter since 2021 or whatnot, and I don't need to show you proof of my medical records.
So you don't have proof that she's your ESA dog beside no certification or nothing? You don't have.
I don't find that relevant.
Okay. That's pretty much all I have right now, Your Honor.
Good job.
Good job. Prepare for this as well as I could, but I work 60 hours a week.
Okay, Ms. Padilla, I'll ask you a question. Is the dog registered at this time?
Yes, sir. She's been registered to me since 2020.
And how often do you have to re-register the dog?
No, sir, you don't. The only thing I have to do is if she has puppies, I add them to the registry list and so forth.
Yeah, but is there any, so you don't have to renew a dog license or anything like that?
No, it's just like a
That's what he should have done. He should have just went and registered the dog.
birth certificate, which you have it. It's Exhibit 1. I registered her in 2020 when I received her.
Okay.
I thought you didn't register.
Okay, you can ask some questions after my questions, Mr. Bristol, but you got to let me ask my question. So
Yes, Your Honor.
my point is, I thought there's something you don't have to license a dog every year.
No, sir. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I've been breeding and
You
having
do.
dogs my whole entire life. They've always been registered. They've always been under my legal home address. They've always had rabies. The only thing I'm aware of is that shots and rabies need to be re-registered. In fact, the dog I have here, which is Skyla's baby, I had to get a copy of her registration because I happened to lose it with all of this going on, and I have to pay.
The dog I have here, which is Skylar's baby. So Skylar already is a mom. You already bred her before.
Just to get a copy, because when she
Okay.
has babies, I have to add
All
them
right.
to the list. So as far
All
as
right.
I know, no, they don't have to be
Okay. So again, going back, so again, the last time you dropped off Skylar was in late October of 2024, and you have not, the dog has not been returned to you since then. Is that my understanding?
Yes, sir. I think, okay, somewhere in the October 20s, because I took a picture with her on October 19th, and sometime after that week, right before Halloween, I dropped her off.
Okay, thank you. All right. So you have do you have any questions on my questions, Mr. Bristol, at this time?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Now, Ms. Padilla, do you have any other witnesses as part of your case?
I have a witness here.
Do you
She
want to
came
call?
with me.
Wait a second.
Oh,
Following my rules, do you wish to have that witness? Because the way that would work is you would call that witness, the witness would be sworn in, and then you would be able to ask that witness questions. Do you want to do that?
yes, sir.
Okay, then let's have the witness come up and have the witness be sworn in.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, the clerk, listen to the clerk.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Please, thank you. Please state your name, spell your last name, and state your address for the record.
My name is Sixta Gonzalez, and I live in 154 Prospect Street, Middletown, Connecticut.
Thank
My
you.
last name is Gonzalez.
And again, what's your first name, please?
Sixta.
Sixter, how do you spell that?
Sixta.
Sixter. Thank you. All right, Ms. Padilla, if you can ask questions of the witness, it's important that I see the witness. So if you can ask your questions and she can be heard and we can all hear the questions, we'll proceed that way. So go ahead.
How many times have you came with me to drop off and pick up Sky?
At least 5 or 6 times.
Have you been inside of Adam's home?
Once.
And what was it that Adam said to me when he unblocked me the day I came home when I
Yes, Skylar's useless to you now because he got her spayed and I don't understand why.
Wait, were you wait a second. Were you present? Were you all together?
Yeah, I was here.
You gotta, Ms. Padilla, you gotta lay a foundation as to how this witness may have heard something.
Where were we when Adam told you this?
We were here upstairs, and he was about to jump in the shower.
And what did Adam say to me?
No, is this a phone conversation? Is he at the house? You got to give me a little bit of context here.
He was on the phone with her, on speakerphone with her, and I had my room door open, and I heard him say that when she was about to jump in.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't realize you were speaking, Ms. Gonzalez. Go ahead. Say that again, please.
Okay. When she was jumping in the shower, she had him on speakerphone. I heard him say to her, "There's no use for you to have her. I got her neutered. She's worthless to you now. There's no point of you coming back to get her." And then after that, I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Thank you. Next question, Ms. Padilla.
Do you remember how long I've had Sky?
Like 3.5, 4 years. I think, yeah, about that.
Is there any reason you believe I shouldn't get my dog back?
That's not relevant to me. That's not relevant. That's not relevant.
We'll make sure you can.
Wait a second. Do you have any other questions, Ms. Padilla, of Ms. Gonzalez?
No, no.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bristol, do you have any questions of this witness?
Um,
No, because he really don't
I
know.
do.
Wait a second. You don't comment on that, Ms. Padilla.
No, that was me. I'm sorry.
Do you have any questions, Mr. Bristol?
I'm trying to figure out how to ask this. So no, I do not actually, Your Honor. I do
Thank
not.
You. Thank you. Ms. Padilla, can you get back on the screen?
Yes, sir. I'm coming right now.
Okay, Ms. Padilla, do you have any other witnesses?
No, sir. She wasn't available to make it. She's having car issues. So
Okay, thank you. All right. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to give Mr. Bristol the opportunity to present his case. Just like we did with your case, you'll have the opportunity to ask him questions after he's done testifying. And then after he's done with his case, if there's more that you think you need to respond to, I will give you the opportunity to testify again, Ms. Padilla. So let's continue. Okay, Mr. Bristol, do you wish to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to have you sworn in.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you. Please state your name, spelling your last name, and state your address for the record.
Bristol, Bristol, Adam, 38 East Main Street, Stafford Springs.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bristol, tell me what you'd like me to know.
First off, I did send copies of everything to her via mail, not email, because she messaged me back on Gmail saying that she didn't accept anything electronically. So my papers went in the mail.
When did you mail them?
I do have receipts for them.
When did you mail them?
When did I mail them? The 10th.
Okay, and what address did you use?
Off the top of my head, it was the address that I'd gotten off the paperwork. Well, I think it was 154 Prospect Street.
And you said something about a receipt. Tell me what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have the receipt.
Can I ask a question, Your Honor?
No, you can't, ma'am.
I want to say this is it right here. Middletown CT 06457. Debit card used $2.87. This is what
did you send it certified return receipt requested? And did you get a green card back? I mean, I'm sorry,
Your Honor.
Go ahead. No.
I don't believe so. I just have a receipt.
So your claim is that you mailed the exhibits to Ms. Padilla on the 10th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Padilla, did you receive those exhibits?
I have not received them, and those dates don't make sense to me because he entered his paperwork into the courthouse late on the 16th, which the paperwork states we were supposed to have it in before the 10th. So if he wanted me to see these, should have gave it to me on a proper manner time, and I haven't received anything, not one piece of
Okay,
mail or
All
anything.
right. Okay, let's see where we go with this. Mr. Bristol, I'm keeping open the right to exclude this evidence based upon non-disclosure, but let's see what it is, and let's see where we go with it, because it should have been received if in fact it was mailed. I'm also concerned about the fact that the claim is that you didn't upload your exhibits until the 16th, so that kind of casts some doubt onto what you're saying. So let's just go forward. If you think you need the exhibits, we can go there, but this is your opportunity to testify.
Yes, Your Honor. What do you mean by mine didn't get there till the 16th? I didn't.
Can you, I'll ask our clerk, can you tell me when the defendant uploaded exhibits?
It was the 16th, Your Honor.
Yeah, so the exhibits were not uploaded until the 16th, Mr. Bristol.
So if I sent them out the 10th, so what happened was I didn't, my first initial evidence that I sent out, I didn't put an exhibit list. I don't know if you guys got that package or not. It was a yellow envelope with a bunch of pictures and stuff in it. I didn't have an exhibit list, and I didn't mark the exhibits. So what I did is I ended up calling the clerk's office. I got an exhibit list. I did it that day on the 10th, and I put it in the mailbox that day.
So you mailed it on the 10th.
If you look at the timestamp on the envelope, sir, it says the 10th.
When you say the envelope, on what envelope are you talking about?
The postal marked, I believe it's certified.
Oh, I don't know if I have the envelope. But again, you mailed it on the 10th. Our office didn't process it until the 16th. That seems like a long time.
Well, yes, sir, because I initially messed up on the first time that I sent it out, and I didn't have the exhibit list in there.
So you mailed it out. So it didn't go. So the 10th it didn't go out. What day did it actually go out?
I sent it out the 10th, sir. That's the only way you could do it. You hand it to the post office and you pay for it, and they take it out for you right there.
Well, again, we didn't get it until the 16th.
I have no clue what to say about that. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I really don't know.
Well, let's see where we go. Right now, again, I'm not making any rulings on the admissibility of your exhibits based on the fact that I have to learn more about when they were exchanged and what they are. But for the time being, if you wish to testify, this is your time to do it, Mr. Bristol.
Yes, Your Honor. So would it just begin off with my side?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me what you think is relevant to the issue of possession of Skylar.
So in March, Stephanie Padilla.
By the way, remember we're using dates here. I need to know years and months, and please.
March 2024. I'm not entirely sure the exact date. Let me just take a look here.
Okay, I've heard March 24 before, so that's okay. But at least orient me for the year.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So March 2024, I inquired on a Facebook post that I've seen that she posted on rehoming Skyla. I don't know Stephanie at all. I never met her. I inquired about the post. We went back and forth through Facebook messages, as you could see, about meet and greets. I was unsure at first. Then she finally brought her over. It was a short time before she had court, and she was supposed to get locked up, go to prison. So she ended up bringing Skyla to me. And then I messaged her and let her know that I would add money on the phone just because I was trying to be nice, and because it was like a quick dump off kind of deal after like 3 weeks. I messaged her and let her know I would put money on the phone and let her know how Skyla's doing. I'm a good guy. I'm not what she makes me out to be, but hold on. Trying to catch my breath. So we had meet and greets, and eventually she had brought Skyla to me permanently for before she had the day before she had went to jail. And then from there on, I had Skyla almost every day. She came after she had.
Again, you got to give me some dates here, because yes, I'm hearing a period of time, and dates are important. Okay,
so 3 weeks after, I would say in February or whenever I'm not entirely sure when she went to court. I can't remember. Let me take a look here. She had to bring Skyla to me, and I told her this was in February. Hold on a second. Let me just take a look. I'm sorry, they're right here. She had brought Scott. I don't have the date. I can't find it on here, Your Honor. And I also can't see. She had brought Skylar to me because she was getting locked up.
I don't know what kind of dog that is. Someone else, you guys probably do. It's a popular dog. But there's the dog. It was very dark earlier. He must have turned a light on or something, but just chilling, just living her best life.
I believe it was either.
I don't know why she's going to prison.
Maybe March or April. I can't remember, Your Honor. She was getting locked up, so she brought her to me, and that was supposed to be the permanent stay. But then she ended up not going to jail. She ended up taking her case to trial. So I was trying to be nice, and I told her, I said, listen, I don't mind if you come see Skylar or take her for a day or two. You know, I don't mind. I know you didn't want to give her up. You know, that's how that was, and she, you know, we agreed on that. That's something we agreed on, that she can come, you know, pick up Sky because I know she didn't want to get rid of her. That was just me trying to be nice. And then she kept asking me to breed her. I told her I didn't know anything about breeding. And sorry, I have people calling me. I'm sorry, I'm flustered. I'm trying to think. So she was coming back and forth to my house for a little bit. She only came and picked up Skyla about a handful of times. So she came back and forth from about, I don't know the dates. I'm sorry, I'm not extremely prepared for this. Yeah, I say. Exhibit 1, do I start off with that now? Can I do that now?
Wait.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm not good at doing this, Your Honor. I really am sorry. I'm not good at doing this at all. This is really hard for me. Extremely hard for me. I inquired. This went from me inquiring about a Facebook post to all of a sudden her wanting to. I should have never kept in contact with her, is what I'm trying to say. I should have never been nice, because this is what happened. She came around and turned around, and as soon as I said I didn't want to breed her, she's asking me to breed her dog. I said I didn't want to breed her. And then she turns around and says, well, you were only watching her for me anyways. I wouldn't, me as a person, I personally wouldn't pay for somebody else's dog out of my pocket. I wouldn't watch a dog for a year and pay for vet bills and food for a year straight, over a year. You know, I wouldn't do any of that. There's evidence in there stating when I stated that she's the best dog I ever owned, and she agreed with me. You know, it doesn't make sense how this case went from her rehoming a dog to all of a sudden me watching it. I don't know her. I would never in my life. I would never in my.
Wait, please, he's testifying. You'll have the opportunity to ask him questions. Okay.
I would never, in Your Honor, I would never in my life watch another person's dog and spend my own money, thousands of dollars, on another person's animal. She only came to pick up the dog about 4 or 5 times, as you could see in messages. There's not many more messages than what she has. About 4 or 5 times for about a day or 2 on end. She was correct about that, but it was only about 4 or 5 times throughout the whole entire year and some change that I've had Skyla. Unfortunately, I have one of my witnesses has passed away. He was my roommate. He was here the entire time. While I was supposedly watching Skyla, she was out doing what she was doing, living her life. You know, I would always send her, you know, messages, Snapchat, because me and her became cool until the whole fact that she wanted me to breed Skyla, and I didn't want to do that. I don't know how to breed dogs. But my question is, why are you asking me as a person?
There's no questions. This is your time to testify. This is not time for ask questions, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. So I'm just trying to figure out why she's trying to claim that I am just watching her, when we all know from the Facebook status down to everything that she was looking to rehome her dog. I really don't. I really don't have much to say, Your Honor. I just that's basically it. Is that she put up a Facebook status looking to rehome her dog, and I inquired about it. I didn't know her, and I would never do such thing as watch someone else's dog on my dime. And that's pretty much all I have to say, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Padilla, do you have any questions of Mr. Bristol?
Yes. So
Okay.
when he says that,
wait. Please, again, you're asking questions of Mr. Bristol. Don't make statements. I'll give you the opportunity to make your own, to make testimony, to present testimony after we conclude his case. But right now, this is your time to ask him questions based upon what he testified to.
Did you send me a picture of a male dog that you thought would breed good with Sky?
Yes.
And are you sure you didn't want to breed Sky or learn how to breed Sky?
No.
Okay, because that's not what these messages say. Why would you bring my dog to the vet without my permission?
I had your permission on the phone. Yes, I did.
You had my permission in case she was to breed in case of an emergency, and I have vets. I have the notes from my doctors.
So again, that's a statement. I'm really
give you
focused.
Permission to bring my dog to the vet without my permission if she was not pregnant?
You gave me full permission.
If she was pregnant, correct?
Just like you gave me full permission to move your vet over to my vet.
If she was to be pregnant, are you sure? Because we have these messages. You had permission to bring my dog to the vet in case of an emergency because you lived over an hour and away and I wanted to make sure my dog was safe. That's not what we talked about?
You just said I had permission just now. Just
while she was breeding. Okay.
That's not the case now.
These messages say otherwise. And he's lied multiple times throughout this whole thing. And the messages are here.
That's comments, ma'am. I'm really not interested in that. This is the time to ask questions.
Are you sure I only picked up and dropped off Sky a handful of times?
Yes.
And exactly how many months did you have Sky?
I've had Sky for the past year. I would only take about maximum 15 days that I didn't have her throughout the whole entire year, Your Honor.
He's correct. We did go back and forth, but you've only had Sky before you wouldn't allow her to come back to me for 6 months. Now it's been a year, but you have only been watching Sky for 6 months. Adam, are you sure you don't want to check these dates and these conversations?
That's not true, Your Honor.
Okay.
Check the dates and times.
Okay. That's his testimony. Any other questions?
No.
Okay.
Oh, he said that that I dumped her off. I dumped how did I dump off my dog to you when I picked her up and brought her and picked her up and it was always a mutual agreement? What does that mean? I dumped her off.
I'm sorry. When was that said that you dumped her?
You just said that I dumped her off to you and I abandoned her, which is completely a lie because there's messages and pictures stating dates and times of agreement. So when did I just dump her off to you?
I never said abandon.
You did use the word dump her off though. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah. Dump her off, drop her off. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use it that way. Drop her off, dump her off. That's just.
When did I go to jail? You keep saying that I went to jail. When did I go to prison?
I said you were supposed to go that day and you didn't.
You stated that I went to jail and those were the times that you had to watch Sky because I went to jail. Adam, please remember what you're saying.
I am remembering what I'm saying. I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
No, I said you had a court date that day. You were supposed to go to jail.
I'll review the testimony. Thank you.
And then he said that
questions.
Yeah. Okay. So what have I said about your character?
Doesn't matter. That's not relevant to what I need to do.
Hold on 1 second. No, I'm I just don't understand why.
Well, thank you. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Why would you agree to help me and then now back out of that agreement?
I'm not understanding your question.
And the question, they're right here in these messages. Why would you agree to help me?
I don't understand why you're being so hostile.
I'm not. I don't. You're not understanding.
Okay, time out. Time out. We're going back. She gets to ask you questions. You don't get to comment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why would you agree to help me and then keep my dog from me? These messages say that you were helping me. Why you agreed to help me?
Helping you because you had no other choice, because you said in the statement, you said that if you couldn't find a home for her, you were going to bring her to a shelter, and you didn't want to bring her to a shelter because they would kill her. That's helping you.
I would like
you
to
by
see
taking
that
your
statement.
dog.
Can I see that statement? Can I see that statement?
Huh?
Can I see that statement that I was going to bring her to a shelter?
That you didn't want to bring her to a shelter. Look at.
Okay, what page? Where? See, I never got any copies or anything.
Yeah, well, again, I'm not. He's testifying to that. I don't have it as an exhibit, so.
Me neither.
So,
but everything I've sent to him, and I think that's quite unfair that I have complied with the rules to the court. And
Ms. Padilla, let's get through this, okay? Do you have any other questions of Mr. Bristol?
Yeah, I want to see where I said I was going to bring her to a kill shelter. Where did I want to see that?
I didn't say kill shelter. I said to a shelter where they would kill her. That's exactly what you said in the thing.
That's the same. Would change the words kill shelter to kill. This the same thing.
If you brought her to a shelter the way she was aggressive, they would have killed her.
My dog is not aggressive.
So you know what? I think we're losing sight of what we need to do here. I'm going to keep track of this. Do you have any other questions, Ms. Padilla?
Yeah, okay. So if my dog is aggressive, why do you want to keep her?
Because she's no longer aggressive anymore. I've trained her.
I still would like to see the message where I said I was going to bring her to a shelter.
Was that a written statement? Do you claim, Mr. Bristol?
It's in messages. Let me just. I could find it right here, and I could tell you word for word what she said.
It's in the exhibit with the text messages.
It should be in my exhibit. Yes.
Well, it's not on your. Well, again, your exhibits aren't coming in because you haven't offered them yet, and I'm concerned about the fact that you didn't disclose them in time. Is the statement by any chance in the text messages that have already been admitted?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, then maybe you can find it, because I have that in front of me, and you have it too.
Yep. One second.
Do you feel good about taking advantage of my situation?
Ms. Padilla, there's no question pending.
Okay.
It's up here. It's up this.
It's not there.
It is there. Watch. I'm just digging right now. Okay, so I'm going to prison. So if I
wait, look at the bottom. She's numbered her pages.
Well, I can't see any of this, so how would I know?
Hold on, please. You have your own copy of the exhibits, right?
No. I don't know if she put it in hers or not. I have it in my exhibits, which I would like to list, but I'm not sure if I can.
I asked you if it was in the exhibits that she submitted. You have a copy of that exhibit.
Okay, so I'll look through her. I will look through her exhibits on.
It's one exhibit that's come in, which are the text messages between the two of you. That's the only exhibit that's been admitted.
Okay, I'm gonna look. I can't even read her thing.
They're both driving me
I
crazy.
can't even read her exhibits, Your Honor.
Both of them.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yes.
Then fine, if you're not going to offer that, it's really not a relevant point in terms of this. Do you have any other questions, Ms. Padilla?
Do you feel good about
Ms.
What
Padilla,
you're
that's
doing?
not relevant. How he's feeling is not relevant.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, she wants money. She wants $30,000 from him.
okay?
$30,000.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Bristol,
Yes, Your Honor.
you heard what Ms. Padilla testified to.
Yes.
Okay. I heard it too. My observation from so far hearing the evidence, it appears that there appeared to be some sort of arrangement where you would have Skylar for periods of time, and then Ms. Padilla would come and get Skylar and have her for periods of time. And she's described it as a mutual arrangement. My question to you is, was there a arrangement for pickup, drop off, time with you, time with Ms. Padilla up until October of 2024?
No, Your Honor. It was just random.
Okay, random. Okay. It appears that in October, late October of 2024, something happened. Do you agree with that in terms of that changing of the arrangement?
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding.
Sure. Okay. So Ms. Padilla testified that in October of 24, she went away. Around that time, I guess Skylar went into heat. But when she came back, her claim is that you would not return the dog. So what I'm trying to understand, did something happen around this time with regard to Skylar, with regard to your arrangement between the two of you? I'm just you heard her testimony.
You ever.
I'm giving you the opportunity to focus around that time period to tell me your understanding of what happened.
My understanding of what happened and why everything unfolded the way it did.
Yeah.
Well, it had to do with the breeding of the dog, and
Okay.
it had to do with a comment that I had made about her wanting to bring the dog to a kill shelter. It was a misunderstanding. It was a misunderstanding when I made the comment about that, and that's what led everything. And the fact that I told her I didn't know how to breed dogs and I didn't want to do that, what was basically the final thing. And then she hit me with the "you're only watching my dog anyways," when she's asking me permission to breed her dog. I don't know why she's asking me permission if I'm supposed to be just watching the dog.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. And then after that time, did she ask you to have the dog, to take the dog? Did she ask you to give her back the dog?
Did she ask? Yes, Your Honor.
And did you agree to give back the dog?
No,
Why?
because she rehomed the dog to me, Your Honor.
Okay, so it's your claim she gave you the dog.
Yes, Your Honor.
And tell me why you believe that's to be the case. In October of 2024, that after this arrangement where the dog was going back and forth, and I don't need to know how many days with each side, but it appears the dog was going back and forth between the two of you until this time in October when there was an issue about breeding. But it's your claim from they. Okay, so around that time, after that time, you wouldn't give her back the dog. You just told me that. Why?
Yeah, because she's my dog, Your Honor. She rehomed her to me. That's the reason why. Why would I?
And when do you think? And tell me the circumstances where you believe she rehomed the dog to you.
The Facebook status that she put up, looking to rehome her dog, not looking to rehome.
Back in March.
Yes, not looking to rehome, or if she's looking to rehome and not looking for someone to babysit. There's never one thing about babysitting her dog in that status.
Okay.
She looked
but
to
then
rehome
after
her.
that, so let's assume you are correct She
Yes.
rehomes the dog with you back in March or April when this Facebook goes up. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
But after she rehomes, then she's still continuing to visit the dog and have the dog in her possession.
Yes, sir, because I know she didn't want to rehome the dog. She even said she didn't want to rehome, but she had no choice. So therefore I was trying to be nice and still let her, see the dog whenever I kept in contact with her. I was just trying to be nice. I know it's hard. I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to give up a dog. I've had to give up a dog before, so I know that. And I've kept in contact with the person that I've given up my dog to before. So it's not highly unlikely that happens. So I was just trying to be nice, and then it just kind of went a little further, and then she started asking me to breed the dog. There was at one point where I sent her a picture saying if she were to breed the dog, it would be with this one. You know what I mean? So that was said, but that was just kind of one of those things because I like the way the dog looked. You know what I mean?
There came a time there. Do I understand that now that Skylar has been spayed?
No, she has not, Your Honor.
Oh, she has not been spayed.
No, Your Honor.
We're clear on that. She hasn't been spayed because I thought there was testimony that you said she was spayed.
She said she spayed. Yeah. She brought up the whole. She has not been spaded, Your Honor.
Okay. Were you aware of that, Ms. Padilla?
No, I was not. He had just told me that he spayed the dog and she was useless to me. So I was taking his word for that he did that.
Did you ever tell her that she was spayed?
Yes, Your Honor, after she smashed out my truck windows.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
You can't accuse me of things I didn't do without proof.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I asked some questions of Mr. Bristol, and then Ms. Padilla, do you have any questions of Mr. Bristol based upon the questions that I asked?
So when he says I made a Facebook post, which I did out of duress.
Ms. Padilla, this is the time you can ask him questions. I'm going to give you the opportunity to testify in your own behalf about what he has said. But right now, this is your opportunity to ask him questions about what I asked about. Do you have questions of Mr. Bristol?
Yeah. If you did not want to keep my dog, why in this messages does it say that you don't want to adopt Sky, but you're okay with babysitting her?
That was in the very.
Well, hold on. Let him answer.
That was in the very beginning when I barely even met Sky. We were talking about that, and then I ended up becoming really good with Sky. There was.
Okay.
So that's why you want to keep her, because you changed your feelings changed for my dog, and now that's why you want to keep her.
No, I want to keep her because you rehomed her to me. That's exactly why.
So where's the contract like I do with everybody else? Where's your contract?
There is no contract.
Okay,
said nothing about a contract.
No contract. Next question.
I lost train of thought. I'm okay. I'm okay, Your Honor, because
you don't have to explain.
Lies are just I'm overwhelmed with I can't even think.
Hold on. Okay, so you have no further questions of him.
Yeah, he said that he didn't want to breed Sky, but who's the dog that you sent me a picture of that you were willing to breed Sky with?
I sent you a picture of a dog whose customer's house I was at, and I said this would be a good dog to breed Sky with if you're going to breed Sky.
But you said you didn't want to breed her, correct?
Correct, but that doesn't mean I wanted to breed her. I said this would be a good dog to breed her with if you wanted to breed her.
Okay.
If I wanted to breed her.
Okay. Any other questions of Mr. Bristol?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Now, Ms. Padilla, do you want to say anything in response to Mr. Bristol's testimony? This is your opportunity to testify if you want to.
I'm not asking questions. I'm just talking.
I gave you the chance to ask questions. You said you have no questions. This is your time to, yes, tell me what you want me to know in response to what he said.
Okay, so I did make a Facebook post wanting to rehome my home because I was under duress. I have went to multiple people's houses to see their surroundings. I felt more comfortable with Adam's surroundings. It made me feel more comfortable that that's who would be watching my dog, and he had other roommates. You know, she would never be left alone. There was just, you know, concerns that I felt about her because of my attachment with her. For my own mental health, that I needed to be comfortable for where my dog was going to be staying. That was the whole reason of the meet and greets and times being spent there. And it wasn't just meet and greets, because there was times where Adam watched my dog. And did I not cook you guys dinner multiple times? I've came to your house, cooked you guys dinner. I have came there when my dog got sprayed by a skunk in the middle of the night to do my due diligence because she's my dog. I did under duress make that post, and because I was unaware and unclear of my mental health at that time, that I just did things on an impulse. But after meeting Adam and other people, I came to realize that it didn't have to be a permanent situation for me, and which in these messages states that he would agree to watch her. I've thanked him many times for quote unquote helping me. If I was to rehome my dog, he would have gotten a contract like I have with everybody else, and I would have washed my hands of this particular animal, because it's not the first time I have rehomed or sold a dog. And I don't who takes a dog that doesn't belong to them back and forth? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. If I was to give you my dog, you would have kept her. If you were only babysitting my dog, there would have been no use for me to come back and forth. And I do believe that Adam got attached to my dog, and I can understand why. She's a very well-behaved dog. I trained her very well. She's a very lovable dog. I can understand why he feels that way. But that's his own fault, not mine. And in the end of the day, he didn't file these papers correctly. He hasn't complied with the rules of the court. He's said things about my character that are untrue. And in the end of the day, Your Honor, he has no contract. As I'm a seasoned realtor. I deal with contracts every day. And as you see, there's other contracts in here, and he does not have one along with her paperwork. Otherwise,
right, thank you.
Here's what I think. I'm not the judge, though, or a lawyer or anything, but she posted saying she wanted to rehome her dog. He opened his home to her and the dog. He spent money on this dog, thinking that she wanted the dog to live there permanently. That's what he thought from the beginning. I don't understand the whole breeding the dog. If you're rehoming a dog, why would you think about breeding the dog at all? I don't know. I have no idea. But what she wanted from the get-go was very confusing. So no wonder he's confused about the whole situation. I am.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything more?
No.
Thank you. Mr. At Bristol, do you have any response? I'll give you the opportunity if you want.
I just she's claiming that her dog wasn't her dog wasn't aggressive. I have messages from her as well stating that the dog is aggressive, and you got to feed her while she's in front of her while food isn't, or feed her while she isn't in front of her food. You'll be good. She also said, I'm going to prison, so I need to find out her home, because if she goes to the dog pound, they will euthanize her, and I don't want that to happen. These are all statements. These are all statements that she's made that she's claiming she's not made. This is the one that she said that she didn't make that. I can't find it. I can't find it on her exhibits, because
I'm with you. Yep.
She didn't attach that for a reason.
Your Honor, many dogs have food issues, and to keep him safe, or anybody or her safe, I did my due diligence as an owner to let him know, don't, in certain ways that you grab her food, she tends to get upset. She's possessive of her food bag. So I'm sorry. If you think that I wasn't trying to, I was only trying to give him proper direction of, like how she is when she needs to be fed. She doesn't do these things with me. For some odd reason, she does these things with other people. And I believe as a owner, I am just properly giving you instructions. And I don't see them in this message that I was going to bring my dog to a shelter. But if I did say that, it was my I was under duress. I did not, you're right. I did not want to bring my dog to a shelter because that type of breed would be the first breed to be put down. So that was a fear of me. I did not want my dog to go to a shelter. Yes, you're correct. I didn't want my dog to go to a shelter. I did not want my dog to be in an unsafe environment. You're not the only person that I did a meet and greet with. I just happened to feel more comfortable with you in your living situation, and you are the person that I chose.
All right, thank you. Thank you. I'll consider that more or less argument by way of that, meaning your summary of the case, Ms. Padilla. In your claims, Mr. Bristol, if you want to summarize your claim to me, this would be a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I've been paying, like I said, I've been paying for the vet bills because she's my dog. I've been paying for all the food all year round without any of her help because she's my dog, because she rehomed her to me. I didn't inquire into the post about watching her dog when she was looking to rehome. As a person, as a man, I would not do that. I would not spend my own dime when I'm just making it right now. I'm not spending my own dime on somebody else's dog. That's just not happening. I'm sorry, Your Honor. That's not what I do. I'm not going to dedicate my time to somebody else's dog. That's just not how it is.
He's lying because in these messages it said.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I've heard enough.
Yes, I'm not as well prepared for this as she is. Like I said, I do work a lot. I work 60+ hours a week. I try and get in when I can do this. I've been trying to keep up with it. Like I said, I have receipts. I have receipts of the paper of all my evidence getting sent out right here. I have that receipt right here as well, postmarked the 10th right here. So I don't really have much else to say, Your Honor. I really don't.
Okay. Thank you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a recess until 11:30. So I'm going to, it's 11 o'clock. I'll ask all of you to rejoin this meeting at 11:30, and I will issue my decision.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you all attend at 11:30?
Yes, sir. I will be on at 11:30.
And you too, Mr. Bristol?
Yes, Your Honor. I have one question.
Go ahead.
I wasn't able to display my exhibits and stuff because you said they didn't get there till the 16th.
Well, again, you haven't told me, you didn't send them to Ms. Padilla in accordance with the court's order.
I did, Your Honor.
And you just told me, and again, you claim you sent them on the 10th. We didn't get them until the 16th. You don't have proof of receipt. I'm sorry.
I have it right here, Your Honor. I have the receipt right here.
You don't have receipt. You have a receipt that you paid for it. You don't have a receipt that she got it.
I have any questions, sir?
No, just hold on. They haven't come in because you didn't exchange them in accordance with the court order.
They were, if he would have dropped them, if he would have mailed them, they would have need to have been mailed before the 5th in order to get them on the 10th. He can't just mail them.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. I don't believe there's been compliance. Ms. Padilla.
I'm on the road. I have my CL. He's not the only person that worked and made time to personally bring them to the courthouse. I spent hours with the librarian. Carol, are you in the Middletown office? Carol knows me personally. I spent so many days and hours in that courthouse.
I don't believe you complied with. I don't believe you have complied with the court's order to exchange in timely fashion.
Your Honor, I have.
So
sorry.
Well, that's what you claim, but you haven't proved it. So. With that, I'll see at 11.
Come on, Donald. Give Kit Kat 30,000.
I mean, and again, No, I'm not going to do it. You didn't comply with the court order. I'm sorry.
I did. I
You had
have
plenty
my
of notice to
receipts,
do
though.
it.
It
Well, you
said
may
it
have
had to be
receipts
in
that would-
before the. I'm saying it said it had to be in before the 10th, Your Honor. I sent it in. The 10th is the 10th. If I,
You're so
I sent it
nice.
in. I sent my other stuff in before the 10th, like I said, and I made a mistake on it, so I had to send the rest of it back out. That
No,
is
I'm
why.
sorry.
I get hacked.
Takes days.
Enough. I'm sorry. You didn't comply with the court order to make the exchange in timely fashion. I'm not going to permit you to file, and I'll just make a note on the record.
Yes, Your Honor.
That the order of the court was on May 19th, 2025.
Your Honor, I have one question. Besides this exhibit that he was supposed to enter into on the 10th, I've never received a notice from him. Not any motion that he has entered has he ever shared with me.
That's not relevant to what
I have it on file.
That's not relevant to what I need to do here today. All right, I'll see you. It may be 11:35 because we spent 5 minutes here.
Yes, Your Honor.
So thank you. I'll see you. We're going to make it 11:35. Thank you.
We just leave this on, or
Why don't you shut up?
leave it on?
Why don't you just shut up and go away? So he never came back, so I didn't get the end. Joking. That was not a good joke. That was a bad joke. I know. Hold on. I do have the end. I do.
Of this case. And this will serve as the memorandum of decision for the case. The plaintiff has brought this action seeking possession of a dog named Skylar. Presently, Skylar is in the possession of the defendant. The court construes the plaintiff's claim as one for replevin under General Statutes 52-515. That section provides that the action of replevin may be maintained to recover any goods or chattels in which the plaintiff has a general or specific property interest with a right to immediate possession and which are wrongfully detained from him in any manner. The plaintiff brought this action in January of 2025.
Okay, guys. You went through all of that. You are about to be rewarded. Full mental tantrum is coming by the loser.
The court has considered the exhibits submitted and the testimony of the parties. The court finds that the plaintiff is entitled to possession of Skylar. Everyone's got to be calm. I'm on the record. The plaintiff was the owner of Skylar in February of 2024. The evidence establishes that the parties entered into an arrangement where the defendant would care for Skylar at times when the plaintiff could not care for the dog. This arrangement began in March of 2024. Skylar would stay with the defendant for periods of time, but would always be returned to the plaintiff at an agreed upon time. The arrangement worked well from March of 2024 until October 2024. In October 2024, the parties took different positions as to breeding Skylar. Thereafter, the plaintiff asked for Skylar to be returned, and the defendant refused to return Skylar. The court finds that the defendant has wrongfully detained Skylar and that the plaintiff is entitled to the possession of Skylar. The defendant has not presented credible evidence to establish that ownership or permanent care of Skylar was transferred from the plaintiff to the defendant. The court acknowledges that the defendant has deep affection for Skylar and that he appears to have taken good care of Skylar while she was in his possession. This deep affection and good care does not establish his right to possession of Skylar. The parties are before the court, and the court expects them to agree as to when the defendant will turn over Skylar to the plaintiff. The court expects this turnover to take place no later than Friday, July 18th. I will hear from the parties and expect them to agree on a date, time, and place for the transfer, and the court will enter orders accordingly and expects that the orders will be followed.
Your Honor, I have one question. Also, in my paperwork, I asked for Adam to reimburse me the 30 grand of loss of puppies.
I'm not addressing that issue. You can bring that up in a separate case if you wish.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
How do I file an appeal, sir?
That's up to you. You can go to the clerk's office and you can find that out.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Now, I expect there to be a turnover of this of the dog. When are you available? And I expect this to take place peacefully.
Yeah, he can meet me at the Middletown police station.
Nah, if you want your dog, you can come over here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you've traveled to his house in the past, Ms. Padilla. Listen to me. You've traveled to his house in the past. You've managed to do that. You're getting the dog. You're going to have to do what you got to do. I do think it should take place at a safe location. I don't know.
I can call the state trooper. He can meet me at the corner at the police station.
Yeah, when I have time, I'll drop her off. Yeah.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. You're going to agree on a time now, and it's going to be before Friday.
I can't agree on a time. I have to check my work schedule, sir. I have to. I have to check my work schedule.
This is why
Mr. Bristol, I'm going to be entering
You're a liar,
orders.
Stephanie. You're a liar. That's
Mr. Bristol.
Straight simple.
Mr. Bristol,
Yes,
you're on the record. I'm going to ask you to control yourself.
Yes,
Mr. Bristol, I'm going to be entering orders regarding the transfer. I'm going to advise you that if those orders are not complied with, they could subject you to serious consequences. I recognize that this is an emotional matter for you. I respect that. I've acknowledged that in my decision. However, the time has come for you to give up possession, and you ought to do it in an orderly manner. Ms. Padilla, I'm expecting you to go and do what you need to do to arrange for this. And if you have to put yourself out, you have to put yourself out. I want the exact location. I want the exact location that you propose, Ms. Padilla.
On the corner, he lives down the street from the state trooper's office. I will have a police escort.
Wait. Slow down, please. Okay. What town are we in, please?
He's in Stafford.
So what are you proposing? Are you proposing that there's a state police office, or is it a barracks? Is it all?
I don't feel safe being alone because
I understand that. I understand.
Let me get this straight. You're taking the dog just so you can go to jail for kidnapping, and you're fucking that's bullshit, dude. That's bullshit. You're taking my dog that you rehomed to me because you're a lazy ass, dude. It means no fucking sense, dude. I'm fucking done.
Mr. Bristol.
Bullshit. It's just bullshit. You guys didn't let me present my fucking evidence, dude. Bullshit.
Mr. Bristol.
I'm done.
Mr. Bristol.
I'm done.
Mr. Bristol.
This is how he used to behave with me. This is what happened when I wanted to come pick her up. This is what he did to me.
I'm going to note for the record that Mr. Bristol has left the meeting.
I understand how he feels about my dog. I understand.
Ms. Padilla, let me finish my work, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to enter an order. I wish it could have been done.
It was not meant to happen.
I'll note for the record that Mr. Bristol has returned. Thank you for coming back, Mr. Bristol.
I didn't mean that to happen. I accidentally put dollars. This is crazy.
I understand. Let's go forward. Let's go forward. Sorry. Wait a second. I'm not done yet.
Yes, sir.
I'm not done yet. I want to establish the place on the record. Can you be more specific, Ms. Padilla, what you're proposing?
Well, he's not willing to come to Middletown.
Listen to me. I asked you to propose the location on the record, and I'm trying to get that. Please, would you listen and do what I've asked, and don't talk when I'm talking?
I don't know how you guys let her win. Do I get anything on my end, like a reimbursement of all the dog food and stuff that I spent, Your Honor?
That's not before me. That's not before me. Ms. Padilla, again, would you please tell me the location that you're proposing?
This police station on the corner where he lives in Stafford Springs.
Is there a street?
I don't, it's true, K or
The temper tantrum hasn't begun yet. It's about to, though.
H, it's in the
So
corner.
that's a barracks. Is that a barracks? A Troop
Yes.
K?
You could see it from his house.
Hi, Sky. Your old mom's a liar. Oh, good. She just lied her way through getting you back. It's all good.
Mr. Bristol, I'll ask you to not speak while I'm discussing this matter with Ms. Padilla. I'll give you the opportunity to speak. So are you indicating what street is it on? What street are we talking about?
Where he lives.
That's not good enough for me, Ms. Padilla. I'm trying to make a record here.
I will research it right now. Give 1 second. Stafford Springs Police.
I thought you were moving. That's why you needed a speedy trial. It looks like you lied about that too. Just like you lied about everything else today.
Mr. Bristol, I'll ask you to not speak at this time.
I mean, I already lost, Your Honor. There's really nothing else I could lose anymore besides my sanity.
Mr. Bristol, I'll ask you to remain calm. I'll ask you to remain calm. 1 minute, Ms. Padilla.
It's a lot to ask when you just screwed me. It's a lot to ask, Your Honor, when you just screwed me, when you're just going by her evidence. You didn't take my evidence because you said it was sent in. You didn't get it on the 16th. You guys should check the postmark for the 10th. I sent it out on the 10th, Your Honor. It's just complete and utter crap.
Messages.
She's bold-faced lying. She's picking out her messages that she wanted to be relevant to the whole thing and not showing the actual things. She's lying. Good luck. I'm not giving you your dog back. Bye.
Mr. Bristol, now you're leaving the meeting. I caution you not to do that.
I'm not. I'm sitting right here. I'm literally sitting right here. I'm pissed off. It doesn't make any sense. You guys can give me everything went in her favor, Your Honor. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Thank you. Ms. Padilla, I'm trying to establish the place and time of location.
It's 2 Main Street, Stafford Springs.
And what exactly is that? Is that a police station?
It's a state barracks on the roundabout.
And does it give you the letter?
No, only Google gives me the address. I would have to call to find the state troopers.
So you think it's a state police barracks on 2 Main Street in Stafford Springs?
Yes. I can't remember if it was K or H, but it's
Again, he hasn't had his tantrum yet. He's working on it. He's working up to his tantrum.
state barracks.
Okay. And when do you propose to do this? When do you propose to be there?
12 p.m.
On what day?
Friday, sir. You said the 18th?
Well, it has to be before that. I mean, I can be a degree of flexibility. It just has to be before Friday. Friday or before? Friday or
Tomorrow.
before?
Oh, can I come right now?
I'm leaving. I'm sorry. I'm going to work. I don't have time for this shit. I'm going to work. I have a company to run. I don't have this time for this shit.
Mr. Bristol, I'm going to give you the opportunity to give me the location appears to be satisfactory in your area in Stafford Springs. It has to take place on or before Friday, the 17th. I'll give you the opportunity.
So tomorrow.
I'm sorry. I misspoke as to the date. It would be Friday the 20th. I apologize. I misspoke as to the date. It would be Friday the 20th.
Literally just getting the dog so she can go to jail and fucking rehome the dog to somebody else and then pull this bullshit with somebody else.
Not
Shut the fuck up, Stephanie. Don't tell me to stop talking. You're not the judge.
Mr. Bristol, you're running very close to being in contempt of court here. So please, would you just calm down? I apologize. I indicated the wrong date. The transfer has to take place on or before Friday, June 20th. Now, I have the location. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Bristol, between now and Friday and the 20th, can you agree on a time?
I couldn't tell you. I have obligations outside of this. I have my job. I have my business. I couldn't tell you right exactly on the dot. If I did have, I have to move stuff around as far as clients and stuff like that.
Well, you're going to have to do better than that. You're going to have to, again, all right, then I'm going to set a time. I've given you the opportunity. I'll set a time, and if you make it, you do. And if you don't, there may be consequences if you don't. What do you propose in terms of the time, Ms. Padilla?
I'll give him some type of respect to get himself together. I can come tomorrow afternoon.
What time tomorrow?
I won't be here tomorrow. Sorry. You need to respect. You don't even respect shit. You don't even respect yourself.
Well,
Sorry.
today is Wednesday. Let me do this.
Abuse.
Let me do this.
Shut up with your abuse shit.
Mr. Bristol, tomorrow, are you saying you're not available tomorrow the 19th at all?
I
Morning,
am not.
evening?
Looking at my calendar right now, I am not.
I mean, it can take place in the evening too, after work. I'm trying to give some consideration to both sides.
Friday at work.
Friday?
Yeah.
You're proposing Friday?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be there tomorrow evening. If he has to work, then I can come tomorrow evening.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Friday works.
What time on Friday the 20th? Mr. Bristol.
Oh, she said noon, right?
Can you do noon?
I can, sir.
Okay. Mr. Bristol, can you do noon?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to order that the transfer of Skylar take place on Friday, June 20th at noon at the state police station located at 2 Main Street, Stafford Springs.
Your Honor, is that coming with like the coats and whatever I have supplied him with during that time? Like, what about my?
I'm dealing with possession. The evidence pertained to the possession of Skylar. Again, I would, it would be nice. I'm not making an order. I would. Does Skylar? Did you leave property that belonged to you with Skylar?
Yeah, certain times when it was cold out, I left a jacket.
What do you believe what property pertaining to Skylar do you believe is there?
Well, in the dark collars, I left him jackets if it was cold, a sweater. Like, I just want whatever I've given to him back with me with the rest of her stuff that I have here. I just want her stuff back with me.
Okay.
I don't want
then I'm going to order that along with Skylar, that the defendant transfers Skylar's collars and clothings and items of clothing for if he has any for Skylar.
Hi, lady.
She don't like you. You're not going to see her either. Watch.
Okay, so that's
why do you keep telling me? This is why I need police.
Please. So again, the order will be that the transfer take place on the 20th at noon at State Police office on 2 Main Street, Stafford Springs. Skylar and collars and other items of matters of whatever goes with the dog, so to speak. And I would urge everyone to conduct themselves in a peaceful manner.
Thank you.
The justice system is screwed.
You better be careful there. You better be careful there. Thank you both. And I wish you both the very best of luck. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for screwing me. Have a good one.
Man. I just, in case anybody wondered, if you want to take any of these cats, you won't have no issues from me. None. You can just come and take look, we don't need a meet and greet. We don't have to mutually agree on anything. You can just come over, walk in, grab a cat and leave. You don't even have to talk to me if you don't want to. It's fine. You won't have no problems from me. None. Now we have to decompress. I didn't set OJ up because I was watching him swear at the judge and at Stephanie. When he told her to shut the F up, I wanted to too. So I'm glad. I'm glad he said what I wanted to say. The dog did look perfectly happy. The dog will be happy with Stephanie too. Nope. I won't take you to court. All right, guys, I'm going to end this and then I'm going to set up OJ because I didn't. All right. Have a great day. Thank you so much for coming out. I'll see you all again real soon. All right. Bye.
Got these life that goes digital dreams through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted charm. In a way, there's no alarm. Dreaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes mirror sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each stream, she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor, dark and twisted charm. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh